All right, guys, AB Investments is back with you. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Without further ado, this is a good message for the BBIG community. Again, my own opinion on the market and the stock. I don't know when you got into BBIG. Personally, I've been in it since 2021. I've been into it literally like right after the AMC June rise. I wouldn't call it squeeze because it wasn't nothing close to that. If GME went to 4 something and that was not a squeeze, then don't even talk about AMC squeeze and to even that number and talking to call it a squeeze. So that aside, this is exclusively BBIG. So BBIG, I got into it. I think it was about like toward the end of July, mid-July, end of July, something like that. And I've purchased many, like stock, a lot of stock in it, and a lot of options. But the thing is here that I personally have seen in BBIG was the way that they were battering the stock. They were benefiting off of the FOMO that people were like, oh my God, look how everything went up in June and kind of like had that rise. So everybody was like, it's BBIG's turn. And that's how they were able to mangle so many people because FOMO hysteria was just kicking in and people were just jumping in. So they weren't really thinking about their entry points and so forth and so forth. Here's the thing. BBIG, like what the reported short interest or like the shares is like reported that it's kind of like almost like the official one off of the Ortexes and whatever is reported is around 30 to 40 million shorted shares. Now the reported for AMC is about 95 million. Now that's again what's reported. We all know the true reality that that's not even probably 1% or 2% of the realistic number. Whatever that number is, we just know that it's not realistic. When AMC, remember, like right now, obviously all the institutions, and this is why I call this a very important message, all the institutions are paying attention and of course they fear AMC and GameStop, but their real fear is not there. The real fear is with the other ones on the sidelines because they know that this is a done deal with these two. They're afraid. They were doing their best to break apart specifically like the Sundial, the BBIG, Prague, what else? There is a few more, KPLT, and they succeeded with that, unfortunately. As much as I did have potential and liked the stock, but yeah, ATER. Those 4 are personal. Like there's obviously a few more, but let's just mention these right now. And those are the 4 that I personally was really eyes on and hands on and everything. They were battering down so much, especially BBIG and Sundial, to the point where they thought like they were almost like they used them as a project, like a science project. They were like, okay, people got in on a high point and they dropped the price all the way. Like people were in at 12, people were in at 11 and 10 and 9, and they dropped it down all the way to $2. Like people saw whatever they made in other stocks that went on the rise at that time, and they saw their investments just go so low. The thing is, they were testing to see if that theory of retail gets scared and just jumps off the ship as soon as they see, like as soon as they feel a shake or anything in the ship, a wave or whatever, they just jump off. No, here's where they were mistaken, and this is why they're way more afraid of those stocks than the GameStop and the AMC crowd, because they already done what they had to do. It's too late for AMC and GameStop to be manipulated more. Now it's, again, like I told you guys in the previous video, it's just about finding a face for the madness. Someone to print all this on. And again, fact check me later when that comes out. Or who knows, maybe your favorite YouTuber might come and take that as well from me and, put it out there in their content. So anyways, BBIG, they literally said that, like on the articles today, they're putting them out there and saying that, oh, BBIG went up 9% because of the acquisition of AdRiser. And obviously, one thing I like about BBIG investors is that they're all not just like putting their money in and holding and just waiting to hold. BBIG really like all their investors are really holding down the stock. The one thing I do have a little fear about is that majority of the community don't have any like I want to say ambition or something, because I've seen in the community that a lot of them are mentioning $8 and $6 and $10, and it's like, if this thing was not squeezing and it went up to 12, the best example I could give you for BBIG was SPRT. SPRT, if you remember it, you remember it. If you don't, I will tell you the story and like a summary, a little short summary of it. But SPRT started like, squeezing from the bottom. It was like $6 or $5, and then it started going up. And by the end of that week, back then, it finished at $12. If you remember, you remember. If you know what I'm talking about. Then the very following week, that's when it started squeezing. The thing went up to literally like, remember it was like $78, $76, if I'm not mistaken. It's like, yeah, around $76. And it does not have like, not even 25% of the short interest and the short shares on loan as BBIG, like literally not even 25%, and it went up to that point. And people are in that BBIG community are talking about $8 and $11 and $10. Remember, a squeeze means it went past its the 52-week high or its all-time high. That's what a squeeze is. Like something like, that's the term. Like there's gamma squeezes and there is short squeezes. Gamma squeezes are, big movements similar to what happened with GME back in January. But short squeezes is similar to the Volkswagen. Like when something goes above and beyond, something that's ludicrous, something that's not even possible by any metrics of the company's, sales or capital or whatever, So again, that's the only thing that concerns me about the BBIG community, is that their ceiling, if I want to call it that way, is so undervalued, like so undervalued, unfortunately. But besides that, most of their community, what I've seen is like, they're really up to date on what this acquisition means. When do they get the kryptides? When do they, enforce things as far as the kryptide complete merger with AdRiser, and all these things have already happened. I mean, kryptide has already been registered, and I can see how the media right now is spinning the narrative that, oh, just now, like even a day after yesterday, that it went up 9% because of the completion of the acquisition of AdRiser. And we already knew, like all the BBIG investors already knew this was done deal months ago. They just need a reason to put that out there to get a 9%. I've seen Upstart or whatever company put out stupid news talking about, like even Amazon went up 8-10%, and for Amazon 8%, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. But I've seen Upstart and all these other companies, random companies that don't have a lot of retail interest in them. I've seen them put out some stupid headlines, and next thing you know, you got like it's going up, like an acquisition of something. Like, oh yeah, I remember. What was that company's name that bought Salesforce? It was like in the end of 2020. I remember. I forgot, but it was I think wasn't it Microsoft? Yeah, it was Microsoft. It bought Salesforce, and when it acquired it, it literally like went crazy. Like it's like Salesforce like went up like I think 40, 50, 60%, something like that in one trading day, versus look at what they're doing with this. This has nothing to do with the news of the acquisition of AdRiser. This has literally nothing but them covering some positions and mixed with loading on some positions so that they can, have some fun with the options by the end of the week. Even though the one thing that I really again love about BBIG is that they're all really really well informed on that, versus I've seen it in our AMC community as well. I'm a part of all the communities, guys, those communities. There is a big percentage, a huge, if not like more than 50%, that is just buying and hodling, which has been the slogan. And that's not bad, but it's very, very important. If you follow me, I'm not going to spend the narratives of whatever YouTubers put out there. I'm always for staying informed and understanding what you're in. If you don't understand whatever you're in, then you don't want to be in it. That's just always what I stand for. So I've seen it, and I know it, that a lot of people are just holding and then following Twitter accounts and YouTube accounts and kind of going with what these people are saying, which is why I had that little rant yesterday about the options, because I literally seen the guy say just 24 hours prior saying, I don't know much about options. I think he was high. He was smoking when he was going live. And then he, a day later, he's talking about he's buying, 2 weeks out options. It was just, until now, still mind-boggling to me. Yes, it's very, very worrisome. So you really need to, I can't stress enough, you need to understand what, what you're getting into and what you're in. And BBIG has that. That's why I support, the community. I love it. Again, my only concern is that people are way undervaluing the potential of the stock without any squeeze or squeezes. The stock itself, the company, has the fundamentals. That's why it's also way in my book, it's, as a company, it's way better than, it has a much better potential than AMC, GameStop, all those. It's one of those futuristic companies, I just hope they don't perform no ticker symbol change or whatever. But you don't even have to worry about anything as far as being bought out like SPRT. What killed the people at the end was that the option players got screwed over when SPRT got acquired by GREE, and then it changed its ticker symbol to the umbrella, under the umbrella of the mother company, which is GREE, GREE. That's what it is now. And then everything just it's kind of like they buried that hatchet. That's it. No more crime. Everything's done. No one even talked about it ever again, which is why I'm stressing the very important message that once you have a potential for something, you have to fully take full advantage of it, because you don't know when these guys will fall. They don't like to fall in general, and when you have it, you don't know when you'll get another chance at having a great opportunity like these stocks again, if ever again. But BBIG literally has the future potential. It's kind of like not just the short squeeze potential that it has, but it's also the future of the company. The company has a huge potential. I mean, when people say $8 and $10 and $7 and $6, it makes me want to cry, honestly. The bottom floor, and this is funny because it's from Seek Finder, and I know media is not our best friend, but even them are putting out $40 evaluation to the company per share, because look what it just acquired, and the company is in the money. It's not losing money. It has a lot of cash on hand. I mean, I'm not gonna make this video all about the finances or whatever, but the company is the company. So hats off to all my BBIG community and members. Please share and like the video. Comment if you have any questions. Let's spread the word with all other people out there. And if you have, again, any questions, just come right back to me, AB Investments.